A few years ago, at a memorial service, I shared a story about my first experience as a chaplain being called to labor and delivery for an infant death. Fresh out of seminary and still not quite sure how to articulate my own theology, I had wondered what a walk down that hallway would feel like. Mindful of the cliches and the no-nos, I rehearsed my introductory remarks. I knew better than to patronize by telling them that their baby was in a better place or that everything happens for a reason. But it wasn't until I heard the door click behind me that the reality of the situation sunk in. They were young, only married for a year or two. The pregnancy had been flawless. Mom was healthy and followed the advice of her doctors and nurses, well-meaning friends. They had an incredible support system of family, coworkers, and the faith community. No one expected this. Their baby was delivered still, full term, flawless, with absolutely no indication as to what had happened. I entered the dim room and slowly approached bedside, where the child was cradled gently in his father's arms. When I reached him and I knelt down, the father looked up with tear-stained eyes and he asked, "Why?" All of everything I had read and every conversation that I had had about grief to that moment, all at once, came into crystal clear focus. I had spent many hours researching death and dying. I took courses on thanatology, theodicy, suffering, grief. My bookshelf is full of very well-meaning answers to this young man's question. But in that moment, I knew that there was no answer that I could possibly offer. So I responded from my heart. I don't know. I don't know, I said, but I see how bad it hurts. I put my arm around him and he began to sob. I cried with him, and then we sat in silence. At a memorial, I shared that there is no why. Sometimes there's not even a how. Sometimes it just happens. If there is no why and there is no how, all that is left is what? What are we going to do about it? At Heaven's Hummingbirds, we hold space for it. For the burden is too heavy to hold alone. We lean in and hold hope that it will be absorbed into community. I don't mean that it all goes away or even that it gets easier, but something happens when we gather together to tell our stories. When we cry together, when we lament, when we laugh, when we sit in silence in the rawness of it all. And today, when we walk to remember, our 5K is not just to raise funds and community awareness. We also do it for ourselves. Our steps not only represent steps untaken, but also our own steps forward. They are an unrelenting declaration of hope and love and the ongoing journey of healing. I want to wish the very best upon your walk or run. As always, may the path be gentle and the road rise up to meet you this day. Have a blessed journey as you go in peace.